How do you build confidence on camera? How do you create the confidence that you need to show up every single day on camera, or just show up when you need to on camera? Stick around, because in this video, I'm going to teach you the tips and tools that I use to get confident on camera. Let's do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, Morilla, and this YouTube channel is for entrepreneurs, small business owners who are looking to grow on social media. Today, we're gonna talk about being confident on camera, because it's literally the #1 thing I constantly get from people. Let the record show that it was not always like this. Yeah. Okay, so let's dive in, shall we? First of all, I just want to share that being on camera takes practice, and that's one of the points that I'm really going to talk about a little later on, but that's the most important thing, is that when I first started as a YouTuber years ago, literally 6 years ago, my very first video was an absolute nightmare. Like, you can't find it because I took it down. It was really bad. Like, oh yeah. It was bad. It was really, really bad. But ultimately, what I want you guys to remember is that I didn't just get on camera one day and it was just supernatural. Like, it took time, it took practice, it took a lot of getting in front of the camera and getting comfortable with just looking at a lens, which is so weird because as humans, that's not how we're wired. Like, that's not what we're meant to do. That isn't like a normal thing, right? This is a learned behavior. So I just want you guys to remember that when you are filming your YouTube videos, or you're just on camera for social media, because I think people put so much pressure on themselves to have this like confidence, right? Now, the other big thing I really want to talk about is confidence in general. I think people have this notion that confidence is something you're born with, and I absolutely disagree. I think confidence is also another learned behavior, and it's something that you do little by little. Like, it's pushing yourself out of your comfort zone every day just a little bit. So for someone who really struggles with being confident, which is totally normal, pushing your comfort zone every single day is just gonna help you get more and more confident. And I'm not a fan of the saying like fake it till you make it kind of thing, but it kind of requires you to do a little bit of that, to step into and push your limits just a little bit every single time, so that you can eventually just get comfortable. Because confidence is all about trusting yourself, trusting your word, trusting your truth, and trusting that you can ultimately get yourself to where you want your goals, to whatever it is that you want to do. Like, that's what confidence is. It's all about trusting yourself. Okay, so let's dive in. My very first tip that I want to share with you guys is that you don't need anything fancy. The biggest thing that I get from people is like, well, you look great on camera. It's because you have this great camera and you do all these things and you have a team, blah, blah, blah. And I just want to remind you guys that all these videos that you see here, first of all, half these videos were me filmed on professional cameras, and I taught myself everything. So truth be told, they're not the greatest, but they got the message across, right? And it was all about practice, practice, practice. But you don't necessarily need all this professional fancy equipment. If you are looking to film YouTube videos, using your phone is totally cool. So let me show you guys what I tell people when they're filming, because they can totally use their phone. If you're using your phone to film your YouTube video, you don't want to film it this way. You want to turn it this way, and you want to film it horizontally, just because the YouTube algorithm will pick up the video horizontally versus vertically a lot better. Now, obviously, when you're on camera and you're on social media and you're using it when you're walking through the streets, it becomes so much easier for you just to do it this way. You can also turn it sideways, etc. So the most important thing is that you don't actually need expensive equipment. You just need something that is clear and that the sound is clear, right? The most important thing with YouTube is that you can hear me, especially if you are using your phone. So unless you have a mic attached to your phone that you can get on Amazon for like 20 or 30 bucks, you want to make sure that when you're filming, you are fairly close, especially if you're filming for YouTube. If you're filming for Instagram, it's the same thing. You do want to make sure you're fairly close. All right, that leads me to tip #2. Now, you've heard me say this already a few times. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. The first time I got on camera, I was not this energetic. I did not have a ton of this information. I've also been creating YouTube videos consistently for almost 2 years now. I used to have a mini script and an outline, and I used to have my laptop over here. So I've adapted and I've gotten used to what makes me feel comfortable when I'm filming. Remember that all these tips and tricks are super helpful, but they don't have to be the Bible for you. Meaning you don't have to marry them. What might work for me doesn't work for you. I have a friend who cannot just improvise on camera. She needs to have a script. So she actually has a prompt and she has scripts and she has to read. I don't really do well with stuff like that. I actually do really well when I'm asked to just prompt and get on camera and talk. But again, that has taken me practice, years and years of practice, and a lot of times that I'm sure my editors really have enjoyed editing my videos. And the last but not least tip, and this one is a literal golden nugget and was an absolute game changer for me and will be a game changer for you. When you are looking at the lens like I am right now, always think of a person that you know, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a follower or somebody in your community that is always there that you ultimately feel comfortable with. I personally like to think of a friend, and I look at the lens and I can just imagine like as if I'm talking to my friend. And I do the same thing when I'm on social media, creating stories and all of that stuff. That has been the ultimate game changer. When you can look at a lens and you can see your friends and it's almost as if you're talking to them and you're just naturally speaking to them. That is honestly the best tip. And again, incorporating that with practice, 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 it's gonna be no time before you can get on camera and you can talk easily. But also remember, you guys, give yourself some grace. Like, again, this is not easy. And I've been doing it for a long time, but I also still mess up all the time. My editors can totally tell you that I'm constantly saying bad words, or I'm just like slurring my words, whatever. And I give myself permission to do that because it's totally normal. And when I'm in public, I still do the same thing. In fact, I even get more nervous. However, this is my job, this is my career, and my secret sauce is that I look at the lens or I look at the camera and I pretend as if I'm talking to my best friend. So there you have it. I hope this is super helpful, and that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified every week when I drop new videos. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.